Welcome back. Overactive bladder is a condition significantly impacting daily life, causing symptoms like frequent urination, urgency, and incontinence. Despite this fact, 33 million adults in the US are living with this condition, and many don't seek help or even recognize the symptoms. Our guest today is not only raising awareness, but also encouraging others to take action when it comes to their health. Here to discuss more is actor and advocate Holly Robinson Peete. Holly, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Holly, you've had an incredible career both as an actor and advocate. Can you share, a little bit more on what you've been focusing on lately, especially in regard to health advocacy?
Yeah, so I've been focusing on talking about something that I discovered that I had a few years ago, and I'd never really heard of. And so I'm a big proponent of spreading awareness about health and wellness. And so when I discovered a few years ago that I had OAB or overactive bladder, I was blown away. And then I found out that approximately 33 million Americans, adults, have OAB. So this was something that I wasn't prepared for, but it came out of a conversation with some girlfriends about my symptoms, and that was really something that I wasn't prepared for. But they encouraged me to talk to a doctor, and then I found out that I had OAB.
And you're definitely not alone in this. As you mentioned, millions of Americans have this. Can you first tell us about the signs you experienced and how they impacted your daily life?
Yes, so urgency, frequency, leakage episodes. I was noticing that, and I thought, okay, well, you're not getting any younger, so maybe this is just because you're older. Quite honestly, menopause was kind of kicking my butt at the time, and I was just like, wow, this must just be a part of all that. But then come to find out that the chronicness of this was like, this didn't feel right. I was changing my whole life for this. I was, not getting window seats, which I love on a plane. Because I didn't, getting to the bathroom was hard. I was mapping out bathrooms everywhere I went. I wasn't going to concerts. I wasn't working out um, at the gym because I want to be at home, closer to the bathroom. Just everything in my life. And I'm an active person, and it was really cramping my lifestyle. So these were things that were happening. And then talking to my doctor was an absolutely like the best thing I ever did, because that's how I found out that I had OAB, and he suggested Gemteza to me, which was a really good fit, and I noticed an improvement in my OAB symptoms.
Now, OAB is often misunderstood, and many people feel embarrassed to talk about it, which is, again, thank you so much, for sharing your story. But with that, what would you say to someone who may be experiencing OAB symptoms but feels hesitant to speak up?
Well, I would say go talk to your doctor. I know it's not the most comfortable thing to talk about, but your doctor's heard everything and they're not going to judge you. But it's important that you share what you're experiencing. And my doctor did tell me there could be some serious side effects like urinary retention, allergic reaction with swelling of the lips or face, more common side effects like headache, UTI, and cold symptoms. But my doctor decided that Gemteza would be a really good fit for me. And like I said before, I've noticed an improvement in my OAB symptoms. So go talk to your doctor, have conversations that you think are uncomfortable, but then you're going to learn and listen to your body. Our bodies tell us things. Be really mindful of what your body's trying to tell you, because I feel like I've got a lot of my life back. I'm able to do things that I wasn't able to do before. And, it's really a good thing. So I wanted to spread that awareness today.
Now, you mentioned something that I thought was very relatable, and you thought that it was maybe just part of aging or menopause. And I know that whenever we have a health scare, we tend to just think it's so many things. We don't actually, get the advice we need from medical professionals. When did you realize, okay, I need to get advice from a medical professional?
When I talk to my girlfriends, girlfriends are good for that. We share things openly, honestly. We feel heard and seen, in our conversations. We're not so, we just feel like there's a safe space. So we're able to talk about things. And that's when I was like, oh, I'm going like all the time. And I was doing this movie, and there's a phrase or like a colloquialism that ADs use to say an actor's in the bathroom. It's called 10-1. They're like on the walkie-talkie, she's 10-1, she's 10-1. And I was like, oh my God, they are 10-1ing me up and down. I was like, they were calling me 10-1. That was my nickname. I was like, that's not cute. I don't want that nickname. But so I was really just seeing that. So I was just paying attention to my body, listening to other people who have experienced these same symptoms, and eventually, like I said, going and having an honest, open, safe talk with your doctor.
Now, what were some key questions you asked during your appointment with your doctor, and what are some things people should bring up during that appointment?
Share those stories about what you've experienced. Be open and honest about what symptoms you're having. Don't be afraid to share anything, and ask, about different treatments, different treatment options. Maybe Gym Tez is right for you, maybe not. I don't know. It was right for me. But if you don't have that open, honest conversation and ask all the questions with your doctors, you're not going to find out how to improve your symptoms. And that's something that you need to do.
Now, I also want to talk about triggers because they could be things that could trigger symptoms. I understand that for you, caffeine was a big trigger for your symptoms. How did you adjust your lifestyle to reduce your caffeine intake, and what alternatives have worked for you?
Well, just fluid in general, retaining just liquids in general was hard for me because I wasn't able to retain. There was a lot of leakage for me and a lot of urgency and frequency. So, I was trying not to drink as much, trying not to do all those things. But now that I am taking Gymteza, it has reduced those symptoms and given an improvement that I was really looking forward to. And so, yeah, just talk. Once you talk to your doctor, you get all that information and you share the things that you're doing. You share what you think might be a trigger and to see if you have OAB and what treatment might be best for you.
Now, what role do stress levels play in exacerbating OAB symptoms, and how have you worked to manage stress in your own life?
I'm not really sure what stress does. I just knew that I was having these symptoms. Everything was a trigger for me. I mean, all day long I would have to go and go and go. So I don't even know that it was necessarily stress or coffee or whatever I was doing. It just was. I was seeing it all day, and I needed some relief from those symptoms. So every case is different, which is why it's so important. Again, I know I'm like saying this over and over again, to have that conversation with your doctor, because that's the thing that a lot of us tend to go online and be our own doctor. But if you talk to a doctor about what you think is happening in your daily life and what is happening and how your life has been changed due to this having to go all the time, you can really get some good information.
Now, I want to thank you for just using your platform to spread awareness about this, especially in regards to women's health. As a spokesperson for Time to Go campaign, what do you hope to achieve in raising awareness about OAB, and what's your message to women experiencing these symptoms?
Well, first of all, I want to make sure everyone goes to timetogo.com to check out more about OAB and more about our Gemteza go-getters. And we're a community of women who got to go. And we talk about the things that we've experienced. And sometimes there's nothing better than being around and talking to people who understand what you've been experiencing. But my big takeaway, again, is having that conversation with your doctor if these are the symptoms you're experiencing, and not being ashamed or embarrassed to do anything that's better for your body, and listening to your body, listening really well, and trying to get the help and seeking the help and information that you can get. There's so many ways to get information now, but I think the best way is really having that conversation with your doctor and not being afraid to do that.
Well, Holly, I want to thank you so much once again, for just kind of using your platform to spread awareness about this so that it can help other women who may be dealing with the same thing. So once again, thank you so much.
You got it. Thank you so much.
For more information, you can visit the website at timetogo.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Open right after this.